Oh, hey, you know what? Before we get started, I need to talk about something. What was the deal with that last video? I mean, were you able to stay awake through it? So, here's the deal. I'm new at this. I'm trying different things, trying to find my voice, if you will. I've been farming these videos around, and my wife took a look at them and said, you know what? You come across as maybe a little excited.
You look crazed.
Crazed? What does she mean crazed? I mean, is it my fault that I enjoy what I do and want to make good videos for people and keep the energy high? All right, I admit, So I have this pre-shooting ritual. Do it! Okay! Yeah, maybe that's a little over the top. So I toned it down a little bit, and I showed her the result.
You look bored.
Bored? What do you mean bored? I'm never bored when I do these things. That said, I think I did fall asleep when editing the movie. Get out of norming, but that ain't too shabby. I mean, norming here contributed to one of the greatest... All right, so obviously I need to find a happy medium, and I'm working on it. And so with that, let's get on to what we're talking about today. All right, welcome back. I'm Lon Schiffbauer, and in this video series, we've been discussing the Tuckman Model. As you know by now, the Tuckman Model involves 5 stages: forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. These are the stages that teams have to go through in order to come together and get the work done. And in today's episode, we finally get to performing. Performing is a fantastic step in the Tuckman Model. But like I said in a previous video, teams don't always reach the performing stage. Now, there isn't really anything wrong with that. A team can be highly successful in the norming stage. For example, throughout the course of my career, I've served on maybe 100 or 200 teams, and I can count on 2 hands the number of times I've been on a performing team. Now, I admit the common denominator in all the teams that I've served on is me, so if we didn't reach performing, might have been my issue. Nevertheless, norming is a fantastic state. But performing, that is the ultimate goal. And you can do it. And it's worth going for because there's nothing like serving in a performing team. Now, when we last saw the Avengers, they were norming, kicking butt, taking names. It was fantastic. But now we're about to see them move into performing. Now, during the norming stage, we saw the team become very focused on the objective. During the performing stage, this is dialed up to 11. The objective is so important that everything else tends to melt away. Egos are gone, roles are gone, responsibilities. So long as they're pointed toward the objective, you're doing the right thing. Another thing that happens in the performing stage is that communication becomes constant, unceasing. We see this when the Avengers are constantly communicating throughout the battle. The filmmakers kind of have this certain willful suspension of disbelief device that seems to be planted in everybody's ear that allows them to hear and communicate with one another. Now, I don't really see these things in the film, but I don't care because I love the constant chatter. Another aspect of the performing stage is that everybody becomes open to new ideas and new solutions. For example, in this scene, Iron Man is more than willing to take a little guidance from Hawkeye.
Stark, got a lot of stray stuff in your tail.
Just trying to keep him off the streets.
Well, they can't bank with a dam. Find a tight corner.
I will roger that.
In addition, these team members, they're not focused on only their own skill set and what they can do or ideas that they alone have. They're looking for new and creative ways to meet the objective. Now, a great example of this is when Black Widow needs to find a way to get up to the top of the building, pretty quick, if you will. She has a rather innovative idea.
You want to get up there, you're gonna need a ride.
I got a ride. I could use a boost, though.
You sure about this?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Now, something that's fascinating about this scene is notice that in taking that ride up to the top of the building, Black Widow was actually leaving behind her assigned role and responsibility. Cap had told her to keep the fight on the ground, if you will, but the objective, remember that overarching objective, told her that she needed to find a way to get up to the top of the building. That's an example of how roles and responsibilities melt away as all the team members focus on the objective. Another aspect of the performing stage is that respect and honesty and authenticity among the team members goes up. Furthermore, the team becomes open to enlisting the help of outside resources. Now, in the past, the team might have said, no, we've got this. We're superheroes, man. We're good. But now, since the objective is all that matters, remember, egos are gone. So if anybody's available to help, they'll pull you in.
You need men in these buildings. There are people inside and they're gonna be running right into the line of fire. You take them through the basement or through the subway. You keep them off the streets. I need a perimeter as far back as 39th.
I need men in those buildings. Lead the people down and away from the streets. You got it. We're gonna set up a perimeter all the way down to 39th Street.
Next, since everybody's being really creative and so forth and finding new solutions to new problems, this really energizes the team. The resourcefulness that everybody shows in figuring out ways to tackle the problem really buoys everybody up. Finally, all these aspects of the performing stage come together to create somewhat of a shared consciousness among the team members. Everybody seems to know where everybody else is going to be, what they're going to do, what they're going to say, what they're going to need, and everybody is prepared to step up and fill that need. Take this scene, for example. Somehow or another, each team member seems to know what the other is going to do, and they come in behind to finish the job. Whoa, I don't know about you, but I love that scene. So we've done it. We've gone from forming to storming to norming and now performing. But you know what? We're not done yet. All great things must come to an end. And while we have an amazing team here, once the objective is reached, there's no need for us to stick around. And that's going to take us to Adjourning. I hope you'll join me.